Welcome back to the channel, good friends. Brian from Apex Auction Car Reconditioning. We got Big Stinky back here. It was off getting some new sneakers, so we got new tires all the way around. Fills in the wheel wells real nice. It's about the same size as the older ones. I think it's just like an inch and a half different. So we're about to pull this inside and do some more preventive maintenance work. I think we're doing about $1,000 just worth of preventive maintenance, which is very important for the 6.0 Ford here. The power chokes don't have a great reputation, but I love this engine so far. We're going to pick up a trailer in about 2 days or so. So I do want to get the preventive maintenance finished and get it in the shop. So these are the Cooper Discover Stronghold ATs. They are 285/75 R18s. They have a nice amount of grip. And these here ran $1,886.39. We also put on the B-Lock height adjustable tri-ball road warrior tested quote unquote trailer hitch on here. This thing does set up a little bit, so I wanted to get a hitch that was adjustable, which it is at 2 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 settings. And then we have a lock on the pin. And then we have the 1 7/8, 2 inch, 2 5/16, and then the weight 10,000 GTW on the 2 5/16, 8,000 on the 2 inch, and 3,500 on the 1 7/8. All right, guys. So with the work that's been done to bring this thing up to date with the updates, the studded bolts for the heads, a head gasket, the water pump, the injectors, the FICM, which is a fuel management control module, everything being updated, replaced. It's now up to me to do the maintenance. And maintenance, like I said, we're up to about $1,000 worth of liquids, fluids, and filters and parts just to maintain this, since to get everything maintained. The motor, the transmission, the front diff, the rear diff, both front diff and rear diff take 2 different types of gear fluids. The transmission with the gasket and the filter, the fuel filters, there's 2 of them. A couple days worth of work, and the radiator, we're going to drain that fluid. That is 7 gallons, $267 worth of antifreeze. I do want to flush the brake fluid as well. When that gets heated up, some of that gets vaporized when it gets really hot and makes your brake pedal mushy. So I do want to make sure that that's correct and it's fresh as well. Air cleaner, we cleaned that, and that is a K&N filter or K&A or whatever aftermarket garbage that's out there. You can clean those and then re-oil them, spray them with their oil, and bring them back to life a little bit for a little bit longer. So we're going to fire this up. I'm going to take you for a ride. We'll sort of judge the ride now with these new tires on it, which I already know is so much better. And then we'll pull it in the shop and keep going with the maintenance. All right, guys, with a diesel, you want to see that squiggly line there? You got to wait till it goes out. With a diesel, you want to wait till the glow out plug light, which is that pigtail sort of light on the dash, and then you can start it up. In the wintertime, that's going to stay on a little bit longer. Sometimes you have to cycle it through twice if it starts hard. As you can see, no lights on the dash except for the seat belt. 180,000, which is, it's kind of nothing for something that's been refurbished and something that's meant to do 400,000 miles. If it's taken care of anyway. I want to get at least 400,000 miles. I saw one that had 500,000 miles. Got the oil pressure is fine when I'm running. You want to keep an eye on the oil temperature and the water temperature, and you want to keep those once it's fully warmed up within a couple degrees of each other. Also, guys, with a lot of motors, and especially with this one here, a lot of people like to start up their car and let it warm up, just to get their car warm to jump into. What's best practice for, especially this diesel engine, is to start it up, let it run for 15 seconds, and then drive. Drive sensibly, and don't go crazy with the RPMs, but you don't want to sit there having it idle without that oil splashing up and getting pumped up into the top half. You want to drive it so the oil circulates and the engine isn't running dry, and it'll come up to temperature quicker. So that's the best thing I like to do when it gets colder. And it's been 20 seconds, so let's get going. This thing is really dirty. I can't wait to detail it. I do have everything ready to go. We're picking up the trailer tomorrow. The tow trailer is a 7,000-pound, 18-footer. We have that paid for. Those run about $3,500. Winch, tie downs on all four corners, and straps, loop straps for tires for cars. So I can't wait to get that. The ramps are built in. They just slide out. It has a dovetail, so it kind of makes things easier for cars to get loaded. In the back here, I already have the back seats. We got that deleted so the puppy has more room. This is her ramp because it's so high. She just walks up and down the ramp to get in and out. Get the seatbelt on so we're nice and safe. Turn some windows down. Got a nice day here. All right, here we go. So I'm not really sure if you can hear. With the window open, I wanted to open that up and let you hear the humming. Ever so slight humming from those tires. The grippers we had on before were so loud and obnoxious, both in comfort ride and with the sound. They had to be pulled. I did keep them. I'm going to find an old set of rims to mount those on and use them during the winter time, or if I ever go mudding, because they have plenty of traction. Just too annoying for highway use. Not sure if you can hear. I love the sound of the whistle, or it sounds like a jet engine taking off when you hit the throttle and that boost gauge goes up. It's so fun, exhilarating being up this high as well. It's bouncy, obviously. Anytime you mess with the height on top of something that's a four-wheel drive with this type of weight, you're going to do some bouncing. That's just the way it is. But at a lower speed right now, I would feel the vibration of those tires, and now I hardly feel anything. This thing does need a little bit of alignment. Steering wheel is a little off. It's not running crooked or shaking or anything, but for some reason, I guess maybe when they did the suspension, they didn't straighten out the steering when they put everything back together. We're off to an acceleration here. And it feels great. So much better. You do feel, a lot of the bounciness, but not anywhere near, let me put this up, not anywhere near the vibration we had before. And it was bad. Beyond now tolerable into almost comfortable, which I would never say to, something this bouncy and heavy. Yeah, this is fun, guys. I love this big old thing. Needs a lot of TLC. but we're going to get it there. Needs a lot of TLC inside and out and the running gear, but we will get it presentable once again. All right, so the air cleaner cleaned out. We have two newer diehards. The oil has been changed. Filter is up top here. 16 quarts Mobil 1. So let's, what are we gonna do next? Let's tackle the fuel filters next. One up top, one down below. We want to also flush this coolant. Very important to keep things cool. Let me see, front and rear diff, transfer case, transmission kit there with the filter and the gasket. Those are the two fuel filters. Lots of grease. There's a bunch of fittings on here. Just a little bit of antifreeze, almost $270 worth. The front takes 80W90 and the back takes 75W140. We have a Dana rear in this thing. Wasn't too bad, but there's the others, just discolored slightly. So we'll go down below, put this one on, and the new O-ring for the lower filter. Right up in there, not the easiest place to get up into. That's the lower filter number 2. I mean, that one there didn't look awful, but this one looks much better. Now we go back up in there. Okay, now with the fuel system maintenance, we're going to pull the cap off the degas bottle up top there, and then open up, and be careful with this plastic petcock or drain plug, and we'll open that up and let that drain, and we'll let it drain, fill, and do that a couple times. There are ways to flush the systems with a hose. I'm not going to do that this time, but I will drain it and fill it a couple times and get some fresh antifreeze in there. So let's get that done. Now I gotta go pee. Good to the last drop. All right, that's supposed to be a goldish yellow, and that's more like a brownish yellow now. So it was time. So now we can turn that back in again. And go up top and fill it. All right, that's gonna do it. We have it. I'm just gonna stop right here because once we get the truck level, it'll be up to the cold fill mark right there. Let's get rid of the funnel. Clean this up. I inspected the bottle earlier. There's no cracks, there's no leaks. You want to look out for that. Make sure the pressure isn't blowing this thing out. That would be another sign of a head gasket. That is done. I have 3 more there plus another half because I'm going to drive it a little bit and then flush it again. All right, guys, the only thing that I have left that I'm going to have to wait for another time, I'm running out of time and I have to pick up the trailer tomorrow, but I have the 75W140 for the rear axle, which is a Dana. I have a gallon of the 80W90 for the front. This belongs to that. We have grease because there's a lot of grease fittings, and we are going to service the transmission, which comes with a gasket and filter. All right, guys, that's going to be it for tonight. So we have front diff, rear diff, transmission, and then we are going to do the transfer case as well. I have to figure out what type of fluid goes in there, what type of gear oil, and get that. And that will kind of take care of the preventive maintenance with fluids and filters. And then we want to do some U-joints. We want to do brakes and rotors. We'll check the brake lines. We'll check all of the hoses. The hoses and the belts up front here are fine. Most of the stuff under the hood here is in good shape. We need to get double check the front end alignment. There's just a list of things to do. But that's it for today. Brian from Apex Auction Car Reconditioning. I'll catch you in the next video.